Our Russian sea berries are also called. Okay, so these are our Russian sea berries, also known as buckthorn. We got them because they're exceptional for our climate. They're from Russia, so same climate as Canada. But these put out, when full grown, 35 pounds of berries. They do, if you come closer here, if you look at them, they do have exceptionally sharp thorns on them. But the kids don't bother them, and the dogs don't mind them either. So, I mean, they are a sagebrush looking bush. So what we do is we're going to take this lovely water. You want a sip, sweetheart? Some lovely water here, and we're just going to pour a little bit of it. We've got these planted so that they are so this is the female tree and a male tree, so we've got a female and a male that are required. But as you can see, we've got a couple more, and they're planted in these beds here with more of that mulch that we like to use. And so I just pour a little bit in because you don't want to burn them too much. The nitrogen in the fertilizer, if you give too much, will burn the soil, and it'll burn the plants. So each one of these is actually 2 plants. So they came planted together, so we just left them that way, but we've given them enough room to expand. This is a fantastic use of our resources. We've got ducks that give us food, and they also give us fertilizer for our garden. Okay, so when using the fertilizer, you really have to be careful. Like on our strawberry plants, we don't pour the fertilizer on here. What we'll do is, before they start growing and everything, we'll dump a bit of fertilizer in here. You got to be really careful because it is duck shit, so there will be bacteria in it. So you don't want to pour that directly onto the vegetation that has the fruit right on it. So like, you're not going to pour it on your strawberries or your tayberries. Over here we've got our horrible raspberries that aren't doing so well. But things like a gooseberry, it's fantastic because you have access to the roots, and that's not where your fruit is, right? Your fruit is up high. So bushes are exceptional for doing this. And yes, we're behind on our weeding. Okay, so we're gonna go back in. I'm gonna set my bucket here. Come on in. Welcome to my duck pen. So another big thing about it is where you dump your water. Okay, so like, we take the water, we just dump it right into the soil and just let it soak through. But because we have a lot of clay here, it really doesn't soak through all that quickly. So what I've done is, back where our water bucket is, it stays there. If you come over, you can see we've made a little step for the ducks to get in. They don't really need the step to get in, but it's just nice when you have babies, they can climb in. And then we'll put a piece of wood in there that floats around so that they can hop out. But what I tend to do is I tend to keep the areas where I dump the water the same, because you don't want a lot of this really heavy, thick soil sitting there, and then it gets all soaked up with the moisture, and it gets gross and stinky. You know, we don't live on a farm. We do live on a property inside a small town, so we don't want to annoy our neighbors with stench. So we try to keep it so that the smell is down. So we want the water to either evaporate or soak into the soil real quick.